Hey y'all, what's up, man? This Louis back again, aka Richard. Be in and out with y'all today. I told y'all I'm gonna do this every single day to everybody get in line. Cause if Louis knows how for you to get free rent, free lights, free utilities, and he didn't do his best to tell you during the end times, you guys would be so mad at me. So without no further ado, going back to pretty much the same thing yesterday, touch up on a little bit more different topics, but here we go. First, I'm start off with lawfulliving.com. This is where I went amongst my many searches to find the truth, the background. One thing about Louis, he's going to try to look and see in the background what's going on in the underground, underground. I went through all these things to get everybody to know about the New World Order. It took me 10 years to get everybody to know about all that type of stuff, Illuminati and all that. Now everybody knows about it. Thanks to Louis. Now my job is to get you to know about your rights as a king and queen that you somehow unwittingly gave up as soon as you got born and went to school called public servant school. Do that sound like some place that a king and a queen or a prince or a princess supposed to be going? Public servant school? No, it don't. Let's proceed. Lawfulliving.com. It's powered by the owner of the site. Her name is Malika. She will help you learn everything that you need to know to get you a foundation. Free Franken community. There's a community page. Franken Mail. How you learn how to use mail, like a king or queen for free. How you supposed to. This is your job. The only job that you have as American is to monitor the government. You see how they send billions out here, billions out there, and nothing to you because you don't know what to do to send that money towards your way, and you trained to go to public service school and march out there in the street like that, sign paperwork or something that ever worked for. Just marching in the street make you look like you are unruly and showing signals of you need to be detained. You're supposed to go through paperwork notices. That's how you do it. Feed the fam. The stores that you go to, they're supposed to be free. You just don't know because we go to public service school and not the rural schools that we're supposed to pay the top dollars for and turn around and buy the books, the lawyers' books, and we pass it amongst each other. We sit up here trying to think that there's anything to gain by one of us not knowing everything. And that's what we get. We're thinking that it's a good thing for somebody to know more than you out here. Somebody's supposed to never let nobody outguard you, nobody outlaw you. Feed the fam. Private menus, third processes, action processes. That's how you get the people. You don't wait for them to go and get they fucked up the first year. Oh man, we gotta wait 4 whole years till they get out of till we get somebody else. No, you stop them right then and there with your ministerial processes. That's how you do it. Just don't know you're going to public school. But be like, why? How come I don't know about this shit? Because you look at TV. TV is for public personnel. That's why you always have public officials, public this, public that. They're not going to tell you. You're a king and a queen, princess or prince, and you playing checkers out here. You think these people playing with you? They taking your money and giving it to you, and you thinking you actually get paid because you don't know economics, you don't know the law, you don't know religion, you don't know social service, you don't know how to regulate the government, and it's you and everybody around you, and now look at you. Until you blame God. When God, it's not God's fault. We'll get to why it's not God's fault in a minute. Mortgage free. Learn how to get the mortgage free. If you can't get any of these services, I will give you $50. It's just that simple. Watch the videos, she help you with the paperwork. You gotta know who you are. They ain't calling you. Don't need to be no secure party creditor that do one of these things. That's one of the things I almost messed up on, being secure party creditor, changing my name to Bay and all this extra stuff. When it doesn't even matter, not one single bit. Homeschooling, learn how to teach your kids to not be no public servant too, to be begging for Federal Reserve notes and shit, doing things that you would never would have done if they said they couldn't pay you to do it anymore. Child support. Who's to say that you gotta do anything but God? You just don't know you born into the system that you just got a broken household and y'all used to be we used to watching TV and the TV telling us what the law is. When it's a big game, a big scheme on y'all, man. And nobody in America is supposed to be watching TV. Only the people that work in the government and military personnel. You will never hear the words private person on TV ever, because you're a private person. Just don't public school got you trained to be that way. You think your teachers are teaching you? Well, ask your teacher. Ask any teacher in your life. Are they really teaching you anything, or are they going by a lesson plan? And is that lesson plan coming from the heart of your community? No, it's coming from another country to take advantage of your ignorance. Money talk. Know the origin of money. Taxes, property, income. Know what applies to you. Birth certificate, social security number. Neither one that America's supposed to be having, but you have a broken home and y'all have families rushing to have sex and shit and have children. As soon as you have a kid, you at that hospital /orphanage at the birth, about to have birth, law definition of birth, when the ship pulling up to produce the manifested goods, it's in the birth period, you finna do a deal, and you still here signing paperwork right there in an emotional state. You put the foot on the paperwork, and what the words say out loud when you say the word sold. You sold your baby soul to the government, which is not a government. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Scientific fitness. You want to stay healthy. You don't have the luxury of being out of shape these days no more. That shit over with. Traffic blocking, get the tickets, who said you gotta pay for anything? We don't evaluate these type of things, and we have nobody around you with economic know-how, law know-how, religious, spiritual certainty how to regulate the government anyway. So you're going to buy a whole bunch of people that's just guessing just like you. It's a way out of every single thing, and then she's going to break it down there too, because we can't afford to have any of us around here being lame anymore. Peace Pantry, that's her homegrown, handmade, custom foods. Friends-in-law, that's a Facebook group. Cooking videos, gardening, success stories, her live Zoom, and that's all the classes right now currently. You want the whole thing recorded, everything is $300. House Notes Release, this is the free class. All show you how to never pay rent again in your life, because you don't know what tenant is. You don't know what a resident is. You don't know what you signed. You never read your contract. 9 times out of 10, your contract said your lease was a promissory note. You don't know the promissory note is a cash item, like writing a check and you wrote your name on it. They went straight to the bank behind your back, and they just like everybody, a whole flood of people just so stupid with king wealth and shit that's ordained to them by God. When you sign that birth certificate, you sign that shit over so quick and you never even got a chance to see it. And then when everybody doing that, you never get to see no visible alternative of what's going on out here. Free utilities. All right, here we go again. I'm gonna say this every day. Reason why God don't come to your rescue immediately is Proverbs 28:9. Know how we was all trained to be wild. See, now you're starting to see the game. I'm gonna keep sending this stuff every day till you start getting it. They try you since you're a youngster. You try to rebel. Your parents don't know what they're doing. They never showed you their bills and none of that stuff. And when you went to public school, you was lacking, the illusion of lacking, because your parents don't know economics, law, religion, spiritual certainty, how to regulate the government. So they made it look like that you poor, but you're not. You're not poor. It is 100% impossible for an American to be broke for 1 second. Because you know why? Because you can make your own money through your own paperwork. You just don't know how to do it. All right. He who turns, Proverbs 28:9, he turns his ear away from hearing the law. Even his prayers are detestable. So that lets you know right then and there, by you being against not knowing the law, you missing a major ingredient on how to communicate with God. If anyone turns a deaf ear to my instructions, even their prayers are detestable. God detests the prayers of a person who ignores the law. If one turns his ear from hearing the law, even his prayers are abomination. So boom, now you know why God ain't speaking to you and coming to your aid right in and now, because you thought it was a joke. You could be around here just learning how to count money and that was just going to get you by. So that's why God don't talk to you fast right away. Here's the calendar. I know we see this calendar, we see it all the time. The date is not important, it's the days of the week. I just wanted to touch up on this right quick. You notice there's something about the calendar that we notice, but we don't actually really pay attention to it. Don't you see the day starts Sunday, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But don't we start off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? We just not trying to ignore the fact that the end of the week is Saturday, Sabbath day. That's when we're supposed to worship God, right? Sabbath day, like when would we stop doing that? Because the evil church that started worshiping Satan, they decided they wanted to make it their own day, and we just don't pay attention to it, and we just start doing it. Our whole education system is nothing but public servant education. You kings and queens are told that at least once in your life. And what school you choose to go to, because your parents gave that sure shot that that's the fastest way to get to success. Public service school. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Sunday you're supposed to be handling business. Monday you're supposed to be handling business. Friday, that's the beginning of the winding down towards the night. And Saturday you're supposed to be worshiping God. Not Sunday at the beginning of the very first of the day. I mean the beginning of the week. Alright? Alright, now here's the Vatican. They're telling you right now that they worship Satan right now in your face.
Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ad inferis, uma teneris ereus iluxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
Okay, so now you see why you worship on Sunday, the sun god. Alright, now here we go.
Hey bro, don't skip me. Hold on, give me 30 seconds. Let me ask you a quick question.
Very, 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 very powerful right here. What I'm going to show you is when we in the new era now that you could get all the books together from the Bibles that they say was taken out. And when you start putting them all together, you get a whole different story. And this is one of the part of the stories that I want to share with y'all, and then I'm going to move forward.
Zebedee had come up to the temple. That affair happened one day when John, the brother of James, who are the sons of Zebedee, had come up to the temple. That a Pharisee named Arminius approached him and said to him, "Where is your master whom you followed?" And I said to him, "He is gone to the place in which he came. Now I receive all of you. He'll just ears with lies and close your hearts, and he turns you from the traditions of your fathers." When I, John, heard these things, I turned away from the temple to a deserted mountainous place, and I grieved greatly in my heart, saying, "How then was the Savior appointed? Why was he sent into the world by his Father? And who was his Father who sent him? And of what sort is that aeon to which we shall go? For although he said to us, this realm is modeled on the imperishable aeon, he did not teach us concerning the latter of what sort it is. Straightway, while I was contemplating these things, behold, the heavens opened, and the whole creation which is below heaven shone, and the world was shaken. I was afraid, and behold, I saw in the light a youth who stood by me. While I looked at him, he became like an old man, and he changed his likeness, becoming like a serpent. There was not a plurality before me, but there was a likeness with multiple forms in the light, and the likeness appeared through each other, and the likeness had three forms. John, why do you doubt? Why are you afraid? I am the messenger for the one who is with you always. I am the Father, the Mother, and the Son. I am the one who exists forever, undefiled and unmixed. Now therefore, lift up your face that you may receive the things that I shall teach you today, and may tell them to your fellow spirits. The invisible spirit who dwells over everything exists as pure light, into which it is not possible for any eye to gaze. We should not think of it as a god or something like a god, for it is greater than a god, since it is outside of the realms of being and time. For whatever is within realms of being was created. It is not someone among other beings, but rather far transcendental to this idea. It is ineffable. The words such as divinity and perfection cannot describe it. There is no way to say, what is his quantity, or what is his quality? For no one can know him. He is the head over every realm, sustaining them through his spring of living water. The Father apprehends himself in the light which surrounds him, the pure spring of the water of life. In every way it perceives its own image, seeing it in the pure light water which surrounds it. His self-aware thought came into being, appearing before him in the reflection of his light. This is the first thought, his image. She glorified the virginal spirit, and it was she who praised him, because thanks to him she had come forth. She became the matrix, the womb of everything. She, forethought, asked the virginal spirit for incorruptibility, everlasting life, truth, and foreknowledge. And the Spirit agreed. This is the primary structures of the divine mind, the fivefold realm of the Father, which is the first man, the image of the invisible Spirit. The invisible Spirit gazed into his consort and the pure light surrounding him, and she conceived from it. This begat a spark of light with blessedness similar to, but not equal to, her blessedness. Then the invisible virginal spirit celebrated the light that had been produced. Spirit anointed him with goodness, making him perfect. Immediately, when the Son had received from the Spirit, he glorified the Holy Spirit in the perfect pronoia, for he had been revealed because of her. And he asked to be given a fellow worker, the mind. And as the invisible Spirit gazed into his Son, mind was revealed, and he stood with Christ, glorifying him and his mother. All these things came into being in silence, and he wished to perform a deed through the word of the invisible Spirit. And his will became manifested and appeared with the mind, and the light glorified it. And then the word followed will into being, and because of the word, Christ the divine autogenes created everything. The Spirit brought this Son to completion so that he would be able to stand in front of the great and invisible virginal Spirit as the divine autogenes Christ and honor him with a mighty voice. When the divine Son appeared through the pronoia, the Spirit placed him as true God over creation, and all authorities were subordinated to him. And the truth within him let him learn everything. Through a gift of the Spirit, four lights arose from Christ and stood before him. These four fundamental powers are understanding, grace, perception, and consideration. Grace exists within a realm of light called Armozo, and with him is truth in form, The second light is Oriel, and with him is conception, perception, and memory. The third light is Davidai, and with him is understanding, love, and likeness. And the fourth light is called Helele, and with him is perfection, peace, and wisdom. Together 12 realms stand before the Son of the Powerful, and they belong to him. Through the foreknowledge of the perfect mind, through the intention of the invisible spirit and the will of the autogenes, the first human appeared, its first true manifestation. This is the incorruptible heavenly Adam, and the Spirit placed him with Christ beside the first light Almazel and its powers. And the invisible Spirit gave him an unconquerable intellectual power. Adam spoke and praised the invisible Spirit, saying, "Because of you the All has come into being, and it is to you that the All will return." And he placed his son Seth over the second Aeon in the presence of the second light, Oriel. And in the third Aeon, the seat of Seth was placed over the third light, Davidai. And in the fourth Aeon, the souls were placed of those who were ignorant of the fullness, but later came to penance. They dwell beside the fourth light, Helele. These are the creatures who glorify the invisible Spirit. Now then, our story begins with the lower Aeon, Sophia of the Epinoe. After seeing the creation that had come forth above, she desired to continue the emanation field, but did not understand the dynamic between the balancing forces. And when she conceived the thought to bring forth a likeness from herself, it was without the assistance of a masculine counterpart, or the consent of the invisible spirit. It had not approved. But because of the invincible power within her, her thought did not remain idle. Something came out of her which was imperfect and different from her genetic pattern. And when she saw the consequence of her desire, it changed into the form of a lion-faced serpent, and its eyes were shining with fire. She cast it away from her, outside of those places, so that none among the immortals might see him, for she had created him in ignorance. And she surrounded him in a luminous cloud, and she placed a throne in the midst, in order that no one might see him, except the Holy Spirit, who is called the Mother of the Living. And she called his name Yaldabaoth. This is the chief archon, who took a great power from his mother. And he withdrew from her and abandoned the place which he had been born. He became strong and created for himself other aeons with a flame of luminous fire, which still exists now. And he joined with the arrogance which is in him, and begot 12 authorities for himself. And he placed 7 kings, the 7, each corresponding to the firmaments of heaven, over the 7 heavens, and 5 over the depths of the abyss, that they may reign. And he shared his fire with them, but he did not send forth from the power of the light which he had stolen from his mother, for he is ignorant darkness. And his archons created 7...
Alright. Lawful. Where do I begin? Okay, one day I had a dream. The first dream that I ever had in my life that I could control dreams, and it was like a big detail. Like when I first noticed it, me and my brother had bought a house on the corner. It was like a mansion. So my brother, he's looking around in the places that's already pre-furnished and stuff, like a whole bunch of stuff, like you know how one of them big houses be, fancy houses. And then so I'm looking around and I was just like, oh, wait a minute, I'm in a dream. And then as soon as I said that, it went black and I almost woke up. It took me about 30 seconds to fight to stay woke. And then I came back into the dream. And then I look up, I was still down. And then I was like, hey, I remember the cartoon Batman animated series. And he said like, it was an episode where he was in a dream and he tried to read and the letters was all screwed all over the place. So I grabbed a magazine off the coffee table and I started looking at it and I realized I couldn't read it. I'm like, wow, I cannot read it, it's true. I was trying to, first thing I did, I said, okay, I want to see some girls. And then so like a locker room opened up, like some girls could do like a locker room. I said, I want to see some thick girls. They turned into some thick girls. And I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. But then somehow, some way, I went outside and then I looked up in the sky. And I said, I want to see God. So I said, I did it like this and I pulled like this. And then next thing you know, like, boom, and then God started coming down the sky. The same thing right here on this, right here was a lion-faced snake. I never seen it before. It just kept coming down. It was so huge, and I couldn't control. I just got through controlling everything. It just kept descending, going down. And then so I got scared when it started getting lower and lower, and I woke up on purpose. And by me doing that, I had lost the ability to fly with water in my dreams. But then about 4 months later, I'm just digging for information and just running across old Christianity stuff. And I found out, I seen a picture of it. That's the same thing I saw before I even seen a picture of it. So that means I know that was God. To my knowledge, I'm the only person I know that's alive that's seen God. And I'm trying to backtrack to this picture, like where it come from is from an ancient amulet from Egypt. So yeah, I seen God. That means like probably you can too if you keep looking. You say seeking you shall find. You'll be surprised what you'll be finding. And when they say reality is crazier than fiction, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm telling you, just all trained up in one group, doing the same thing over and over and over again. You about to try to go your life without reading that Bible. You go okay with dying and not reading that shit. I'm telling you, man, you gotta learn. You can't have nobody outlaw you out here. You can't have nobody economics out here. There's no more economics. You can't have nobody no more religion than you. You can't have nobody know more about the government than you. And look at you where you at right now, and you're in a position where you hoping and wishing for somebody else to come through with a lick or for the play or something. Lucky for you, your present answer, and that's what I'm here to help you get back on track. Okay, the Gnostic or Yalaba. When you put all the books together in the Bible, it goes from Christianity to Gnostic Christianity. And when they say Yalaba is the God, he's like, well then, he said, I am a God and there is no other God besides me. But you see what happened. He didn't know where his powers came from other than his mother. And the mother of God, you always see in the movies, sweet mother of God. They try to tell you, sweet mother of God, right? You done heard that a lot of times, right? But they not finna tell you everything, you know what I'm saying? You gotta put your shit together. You just don't realize that we are a whole bunch of kings and queens sitting around here thinking that we supposed to get the praise from everybody. So, yeah, you wanna know about God, look up the Gnostic Bible and you're gonna find out everything you need to know. I cannot believe it. I started looking through YouTube, through all Facebook, and then the people that had lucid dreams, that mean you can control your dreams, and I asked every single one of them, like, well, did y'all ever try to see God before? I'm going to pull God out of the sky and see if he'll come out. And none of them said they seen him, so I'm the only one, as far as I know, that's seen God. Moving on. Here's a medallion going back from ancient Indian days. So it had to be somebody back then. He used to say God was a villain and stuff back then. He had to, somebody had to see him because it had his pictures of him. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. There's some more stuff from ancient back then. They actually revealed their stuff, but this ain't what I was back then. Just this. It's a metaphor. Alright, now let's go back to us right now. Did you not know? You know that things are kind of messed up and nobody's really putting the finger on the tip of finger on exactly what it is? That's what we're finna do right now. You see, most people don't know that there's never been a peace treaty ever for the Civil War. So we've been warring in the background the whole time and nobody didn't know. Look what it says. There has been no treaty signed at the end of the Civil War. The surrender of approximate courthouse was a military surrender, and any army which was surrounded, the Confederate government never surrendered and never had wanted to the United States government, would likely never would have accepted it. So if they never went it over, so it must be some really cloak and dagger stuff going on, right? Right. Now, this tell you who won right then and there. United States Code. We all thinking we here to win. We all won, yay! So look what's the United States. United States Coroner, what code? Title 28, U.S. Code 3002, Section 15, clearly tells you, United States Code Title 28, 3002, Section 15, where it is stated unequivocally that the United States is a corporation. The corporation has won. Washington, D.C. is a sovereign city place where it's its own spot. That's the only thing that the United States can tell what to do. And not bound by any laws or treaties that the 50 states of the Union are, just as the city of London and the part of England and part of the Vatican, they all three things, religion, finance, and military. And we ain't just using us for our own resources. You just don't know it if you look at teaming up with the United States. But ain't no difference between the United States and America. And then you say, and then you became a traitor. Did you not? Now you know that the United States is a company and not from here. Did you not sign a contract for food stamps or for a job to say you're a United States citizen? Have you ever seen American on any paperwork that you've seen in your entire life that you know I'm an American? Never. But you're a king and queen though. You fucking up real bad. Real bad. You just switched out your whole nationality right then and there. So no telling what you missing. And then you see everybody doing it, so you don't see no visible alternative. Now it's to the point when you hear the information coming from your own kind, and you hear it coming from the opposition that you like, oh, I don't really want to believe that, but it ain't really like it's shutting down over here, but I don't want to leave the plantation. All right, here's the first thing they did when they won. The Reconstruction Acts required 10% of voters in 1860 election to take oath and before a state could establish a new government. New government. This ain't our shit. It's a company, right? You just ain't got to say it's a company. A company. Get it in your head. This is a company you listening to. Reconstruction Act. What you think they reconstructed? History. From a ministerial aid to help people to getting shit out of you to become administrator. They take even through the sea. Now you went from a ministerial that you never even seen it before, and they just put that disguise. And we a republic. What the old school national athletes say? Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. But what do you always hear on TV? Democracy, 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 democracy. Why you doing that? They already attacking us. They like, we got to get these people brainwashed so they never wake up. So in the 1960s, Dr. Alan Frey, in his report, Human Auditory System, what is the title of it? I'm gonna just go right here. Auditory system response to modulated electromagnetic waves will appear in the Journal of Applied Technology. Dr. Frey described how microwave hearing was demonstrated by using a microwave transmitter that projected sound from several hundred feet away. So that's how you get the thoughts in your head that's telling you stuff to do this, do that, do this, do that. And you thinking that these people got schizophrenia out here, and since the 60s they've been doing this. The people around here that's going through these things, you think they're going crazy, you ain't paying attention to them, you see them walking down the street, oh, they goking, but you don't know they getting fucked with to the max by our own system. The same system that you run and they don't get a shot from, that they told, I just showed you, is a company that you listening to with your life, that's a company that's bound by or owned for profit. Research trying to use pulse-modulated waves at extremely low average power levels. The transmission was immediate, and the system was wireless and receiverless, and the sounds were even heard by the deaf people. Even in the mid-1970s, Dr. Sharp helped develop a microwave hearing technology for DARPA by conducting research at Walter Reed Army Institute. Everybody go crazy at Walter Reed before they get fucked over. In 1973, Dr. Sharp proved that the correction modulation of microwave energy could result in wireless and receiverless transmission of audio speech. That means that they've been talking to people the whole time, whispering in your ear, man, fuck that, go do this, go do this. You don't know where that voice coming from, you don't think it's your conscience. No, it's that. And when the people that can hear this shit without no filter, and we label them as schizophrenic, like, where every voice is coming from, and you just let them get signed away. And that's the same people you were like, man, they don't need no guns in their possession, man. No cardiac, because you don't investigate nothing. You let them come, they pimp you and talk to you about information. You don't look at nothing. Now this is the updated equipment, what they use right now to do that shit. The D-Wave super quantum computers. D-Wave, look them up. D-Wave quantum computers. They are having access to the dimension world, where the demons at, and they becoming priests on their own using quantum technology and algorithms to bridge the gap along with CERN and all those other equipment that you've been hearing about, that you just and hang around other people and shit, and you done heard that they try to open a portal to the devil. Boom, that's what they're doing right now. They automatically having demons having access to people talking to them instead of just a regular computer. Look up what D-Wave computers do. It's called quantum computers. Look at V2K. Look at the weapons that have been going on since 2004. They've been using this stuff on everybody. Everybody got a fake personality. Why do you think you don't know economics, law, religion, how we regulate government? Because as soon as you start thinking about that stuff, like, man, that's boring. You're going to get a quick test, 1800s. Don't you feel like going to sleep? Exactly. Targeted individuals. That's not what's coming to an end now. All y'all have to do is just step up and let people know that the police stations are the ones that's doing this stuff, because they want you calm and don't look the other way. Don't you know the police has no place in the Constitution? You can't outsource that type of structure on people. Why you think people get killed so much? We're too lazy to spend one month out of the week to do your own guard for the whole community. United States is a corporation. Must be wanting to see it one more time. United States, where it's stated irrecoverably that United States is a corporation. Corporation now. That's what you're listening to. Playing games with you. Washington, D.C. is a sovereign state. That means it's its own country in its own place. Not by any laws or treaties of the United States of the Union. Not, and as a city of London, not part of England, part of the Vatican, and also sovereign city states. Look, that's their heart, their operations right now. The trinity of globalist control. All right. So now you know it's a company, and what you gave up your birth when you signed that stuff in the hospital with your birth certificate. I'm gonna get the social signs of birth certificate and all these other things. Like, okay, then now I see it's a company. So what if they gave us that? Then what did you give up? You gave up your inheritance from God. Remember, you did it so fast that you never seen it, and then you don't have nobody around you see no alternative, to the point that what the nigga telling you is basically could be a fairy tale. And this is how you know you got scammed and it was impossible, but you agreed with it anyway. Here's what 20 CFR 422-104. Who can be assigned a social security number? Okay, let's take a look at it. For a person is eligible. Person already. We're going to go back to persons in a minute. Persons means in the law dictionary. I could have stopped. I could have stayed right there. Person. Person is a person or persons, whatever used in section 107 shall be deemed to include corporations. Corporations. You said you a person, you go about a person, you are a legal entity that's not a man or woman. Our vocabulary, we don't know that. Got placed in public service schools, we using this vocabulary, and we thinking this slang shit is working in our favor. Nobody knows what we're talking about. No, man, they got tribes of black people that don't care about you. And they make up stuff and they do send out this rap shit and make y'all talk this type of way and y'all thinking y'all really doing something, and all you doing is talking yourself out your own fucking wealth. Person mean corporation, okay? Deemed to include corporation. The word person, I don't care about reading the rest of that. All that's all you need to know, but I'm going to read it. The word person or persons, whereas used in section 107 of this title, shall be deemed to include corporations and associations existing under authorized laws of either of the United States. You see how they changing up the United States and laws of any of this territory, laws of any state, or laws of any foreign country. A corporation. Now let's go back. Person, now you know it's already gone, that you're not supposed to qualify for this shit. Eligible for Social Security, here we go again. Another trick, another clue. We can assign you a Social Security number if you meet the evidence required in statute 422, and you are, let's stop right there. You don't have to go fast farther than this if you learn how to read past the public servant level. You see it's account that's in highlighted, right? You already know that persons don't mean that mean that's a corporation. Not man or woman, people. You. An individual. Individual. Same thing, we be using that shit. Individual. Individual, employee, agency for the agency of international development. Anybody that's an individual is an employee. We don't read the contracts of what the words we say when we write stuff. The can mean something different if you don't read that shit. Individual, so that tell you again that it's not you. Do you work for the government when you was born? No. That owes a debt to the United States for this subpart. How could you owe a debt to the United States and you just was born? See, we just don't know what we're doing. Now it's coming to a head. Now that there ain't nothing, no free stuff and all this stuff, to be just like ignorant, like, oh yeah, this and that. Now you taking this shot. You just got tricked a long way around to get tricked out of all your shit from God. And now you thinking that it got these tribes of black looking people that look like us that's telling you get the job, they rapping, but you ain't never seen them hang around you ever. They don't never come and fuck with you. They only come inside the club to get rained on and do some bullshit and just leave on your ass. Never sit and talk to you, never chill with you, nothing. So now let's talk about this so-called money that we got. 12 U.S. Code 401. What you got in your pocket? It's a Federal Reserve note, right? I know everybody looked at their money long enough to see this Federal Reserve note, right? Federal Reserve notes. 12 U.S. Code 401, issuance, reserve ranks, nature of obligation and rejections. This tells you what Federal Reserve notes are for. Federal Reserve notes are to be issued at the discretion of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System for the purpose of making advances to Federal Reserve banks through the Federal Reserve agents And for hereinafter set forth no other purpose is authorized. Did you just hear that? God said you destroyed by lack of knowledge. And now you see how it's getting put together. Like, how can I be destroyed by lack of knowledge? I'm functioning there, right? No, you are destroyed. You're doing things you didn't know that you're doing. You are really tricked your way around into slavery. Nobody can't even ask you for these things. They are for Federal Reserve notes are to be issued at discretion of the Board of Governors for the Federal Reserve System for the purpose of making advances through Federal Reserve banks through federal agents. Are you a federal agent? That's the only person that's supposed to be using them. So how can anybody ask you of them? They can't. You volunteer it. You know, an easy way you can volunteer. We see that if that's the case. Anybody that you owe, that's a company or whatever, get them to have put in writing that they owe you supposed to pay them whatever in Federal Reserve notes, and they won't do it. It's a big scheme that we went to public service school, man. We are straight up ducks. Public service school got you around here doing shit with promissory notes. That everything that you pay for, you don't supposed to be paying for. Zero. Nothing. You supposed to be making promissory notes. And one thing about promissory notes, I've been trying to tell my homeboy that nobody has to accept it. What it says about promissory notes? Promissory notes, the difference between others. You do not, number one thing, you do not require accepting. They don't require accepting. You get your money, you don't want it, then fuck you. You just don't know. We're moving so fast and watching TV. TV is the game of the life. The TV is for public officials and federal employees. And they enticed it, induced you to watch it every day at the expense of you getting your shit together. You don't know your economics. Your children don't know it. Your parents don't know it. And you're passing that behavior down to your children. You don't know the law. Get fucked with the most. Your parents don't know it, and you don't know it, and you pass it down to your children, and none of y'all know it, just like the economics. You don't know your religion. You go to these churches that's taking Federal Reserve notes that you see not only supposed to be for federal agents. Your parents don't know religion, don't know how to talk to God. You passing that shit down to your children like God ain't helping them. You don't know how to regulate the government. You don't know, your parents don't know how to regulate your government. You don't know how to do it. Nobody around you know how to do it. And you passing that behavior down to your kids like they got to go to the government for help. And it's a company. 12 years code 29. You just seen for hearing no effort, no purpose that you can't use that shit for property. You see the banks trying to hold on to property because you ain't come and take it from them yet. Power to hold real property, not real estate. Real estate is a business opportunity. You keep watching TV and thinking that shit helping you. Ain't you chilling right now without knowing economics, about religion, how to regulate the government, how to talk to God? Everybody around you doing the same thing too, don't know. Okay, you don't know how nobody to go to and no inside leg. And then y'all wonder why. Then y'all talk to each other all day long. From the time y'all get through talking and go y'all own way, y'all ain't talking about nothing. National Bank Association, who may purchase the whole company real estate for the proper following purposes and for no other purpose. First, such shall be necessary for accommodation of the transactions of the business. That's the bank itself, the base with the vault in it. Secondly, such as secured mortgages by good faith by the way of securing debts as previously contracted. Did you get secured debt, had a debt with the United States or the bank before you went to go get a car or a house? No, it don't lie to you. Same thing. Third, such shall be conveyed in the satisfaction of debts previously contracted with the course of his dealers. Fourth, it should be purchased as sales under judgment, decrees, or mortgages held by association. Are you association? Or shall purchase through secured debts due to it. Does that apply to you? No. Watch TV, you go inside a bank, you are inside the embassy, just like you go inside the courtroom, you're inside the embassy. That's why you see the military flag, gold trim. You don't know your economic, you don't know your legal system, you just run around like a jet. Okay, how long can they hold on the property? Every single property out here that's been in the bank possession for over 5 years, you could just come and take it for free. But by you letting one person know that shit, they put them on the news and made them look like a squatter, and you just sat there and just seen them try to get the property, and you like, oh, you ain't even put no effort in, like, how y'all, because you don't know shit, you sat there and let the police come and fuck with them illegally, and they have to climb in the heart, make it even tougher about it, because you sitting here watching TV and shit. No such association can hold any real estate mortgage or title possession or any real estate purchased by security debts due to it for no longer than 5 years, and some otherwise provided in this section. And what's the other way they could do it? For a real estate in this possession of a national bank. National Bank Association on application by the association, the comptroller of currency may approve for any such real estate for another additional period, no longer than 5 years. So anything definitely over 5 years, after 10, you can just go and get it. Well, I'm going to show you that the banks, you said this, banks, all banks are embassies. This is the Banking Act. I want you, we finna go through this line of chapters. I bet you will never see nothing about domestic banking. Comptroller of currency, national banks. You see, just national banks is there. You see that other one that you're supposed to go inside the bank. They are, you saying that you are a shareholder or CEO or a family member of the one of the owners of the banks. But they ain't gonna tell you because they playing the game with you. You're a king. You don't know the game. You sit up here thinking that you winning this shit. You have no clue what you doing. This is an embassy. It's not a part of our land. Federal Reserve System, taxation, criminal offenses, foreign banking. You see foreign banking? Now let's see what is some domestic banking. Boom, no credit administration, agriculture, marketing, regional agriculture, adjustment, cancellation, national bank accredited, local agriculture, corporations, loan companies, federal home loan banking, federal home loan banking, federal mortgage, Savings Association, National Housing, Federal Credit Union, Federal Loan, Federal Deposit, bank holder companies. You will not see no domestic banking because there's no such thing as domestic banking. You're the bank. You're a king. You're a queen. You could just write your shit up with your own credits, bills and credits of credits and bankers, documented credits that you're supposed to be doing. And that's what you be doing when you sign your lease. When you sign your lease, you didn't know that you said that you was gonna pay them by $2,000 a month times 12 months. But you know, on that paper is a cash item that they went to the bank and got $2,000 a month for 10 months because they took off 2 months right up front. When you get your job, you think you balling at your job, willing to say fuck everybody. If you signed that contract to say that you won, you a United States citizen, right? So they back down, they got a reason to fuck with you. You said that you will take $50 an hour for $50 an hour. So $50 an hour times a month, your monthly salary is coming right out of your own promissory note. Cause you signed the paper, you don't know the numbers at the bottom and shit. You see everybody doing the same thing. You don't see no visible alternative, right? You don't see nobody know economics, law, religion, how to regulate the government, spiritual certainty. You, your parents, everybody around you. Exactly. Now this is what's supposed to happen when you, so even then, they still can't kick you out when you get evicted. You know eviction means relocation, but nobody reads none of this paperwork. They don't know. You sit and watch people get kicked out and lose a place, and you just don't say nothing like, oh, well, I've seen on TV, that's what happens and shit. Because you're watching that fuck-ass TV and won't let it go. This is what happens for you, you get eviction. Evictions for cause must conform to application states and local. Any person who occupies real property and not in unlawful occupancy on the date of initial of negotiations is presumed to entitle to relocation payments and other assistance set forth in this part unless agency determines blah blah blah. How many of y'all even sat to read that shit? Read your lease. Your lease says that you are your own. Your premises is the refrigerator and stove. Look at your lease. I guarantee your lease say your premises is the refrigerator and the stove. And it says you're a tenant. You don't know what the word tenant is. You think that those are you gonna play game? Aren't you just a man or a woman? Why it gotta be tenant? Why I had to be that? You don't know that resident means that you're in the military. You don't know the law, they switching up person. Now you see the words that you're using in individual. Now you catching on, Alright. Person, here we go again, it must be one to show y'all. Deem a corporation to include, read it word by verbatim. The word person or persons, whenever used in this section of 1 through 7, shall be deemed to include corporations and associations existing under authorized by the law by either the United States, laws of the territory, laws of the states, and laws of the foreign country. You don't know your position. Resident, defined as natural person. Natural person means somebody, you see person, it could be a corporation, but when they put natural with it, that means you're working for the government. That's why you require vehicle registration, because you said you're working for a government. You're going to read your driver's license. Driver's license said that you agreed that when you sign this, you're going to use your car for over 50% of the time driving for the governor. And if you don't meet those requirements, you get permission to get fucked with it. And by everybody doing that, not reading this shit, oh, I'm so thirsty to drive and all this stuff, and then showing your kids that shit behind you, you ain't even looking to see what it actually says. You made the ability of assumption that somebody's just trying to get out of something, and the police was seeing that so much, it helped them get brainwashed to not have to know the Constitution. Person. Definition of person. Term person is student used in this chapter includes officers, employees of a corporation. Individuals employed, we already seen that individuals are employees of the government. Natural person. Person, living human beings with certain rights and certain responsibilities under the law. That's a government worker. Who has certain responsibilities under the law? Okay. I contrast a legal person or an artificial person. Now, I bet you some of you ain't never even heard that. Artificial person, because you used to person sound being a man or woman. It's not. Public service school got us talking like this. And slang made it even worse when we think we actually talking some cool stuff, but we got tribal black people that's in tribes on our land that's actually coming up with these type of words to make you dumber, even dumber. And they all wrapping around you. Notice they'll never hang around you. They sit for the Illuminati and shit. Here we go again. We don't even supposed to pay for food. You know that sometimes if somebody said you need to get the food, and you need to get the seeds, sometimes the seed is in the food, right? 7 U.S. Code 2201, Establishment of the Department of Agriculture. It shall be the seat of the government, a Department of Agriculture. The general design and duties of which shall be to acquire and diffuse amongst the people. You notice it ain't saying persons, it says people. You gotta learn to start getting a law dictionary, get you some money learning books, property taken from these people, how you get on, you secure stuff that by the public officials are acting out of pocket. You don't look for them to give. For 4 years, you don't vote them out, you take them out yourself. Get you a law dictionary, get you the Bible, because the Bible is what controls the government, whether you know it or not. They got y'all not believing in God and shit because you don't know that, you don't know Proverbs 28:9, where if you don't know the law, he ain't fucking with you. How to get to the words that they Cake could be caking, cake could be food, cake could be sitting up, cake could be charming somebody. You don't know which words they talking about. And here we go, the vaccine. The vaccine, everybody done got you to be all rooting for. And you ain't never seen under a microscope.
So I was just seeing a very interesting video of the mRNA vaccines, allegedly, under a microscope. So we have the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine first, and then we'll look at the Moderna vaccine, again, allegedly. Now in this footage, which is apparently 2,500 times magnification zoom, it is noting that the black arrows, the lipid nanoparticles is what those are labeled as, which are the carriers, the vehicles for the mRNA. And then it says at the bottom, red circle equals not declared inorganic nanoparticle. So the black arrow is the lipid nanoparticles, according to this diagram, and the red circle is not declared inorganic nanoparticles. Now this next footage is very, very interesting in my opinion, and it's at a higher magnification. Now we're at 30,000 times magnification, and we see what are these gray geometrical particles. These look very creepy to me. I wouldn't want that injected into me. I wouldn't trust anything they put into me. Apparently they just downloaded this off of the Chinese website from the Chinese government and then plugged it into their mRNA platform. They say it took them 2 hours.
So we downloaded the sequences from the Chinese government, we put it into our proprietary algorithm that generates the vaccines, and in 2 hours we had the vaccine already designed and it went straight into manufacture.
That's so dumb in my opinion, to let the communist Chinese party decide what billions of people in the so-called free world have their bodies do using a super advanced technology called mRNA, which can override normal cell function and get the cells to do other things outside of their normal purview. Why on earth would anybody let their body be controlled by the evil communist Chinese party? And that's just what they're telling us. They told us that they downloaded the Chinese sequence from the Chinese government. But now we're looking under the microscope, and we're seeing other particles in here which look very suspect. What on earth is going on here? Why are they so adamant and not taking no for an answer when it comes to getting these vaccines into people's bodies? So here's some footage of the person setting up their microscope. You can see the vial of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, and then a dropper is used to apply it. I think they also put some other coloring or dye or something on there. And you can see on the computer screen, and then we'll jump over to the actual footage, what is seen under the lens. So here it comes into focus. What is that rectangular blob? It all looks so creepy and gross to me. What is this stuff? So again, here's the footage at 2,500 times zoom, showing what they label as inorganic nanoparticles. And again, here's some more examples with the same labeling. It labels the red circles as undeclared inorganic nanoparticles, and then the others as lipid nanoparticle mRNA carrier. So why do they not look uniform? And then again, here's the 30,000 times zoom. What is this stuff? This is very creepy. It looks jaggedy. It looks inorganic, if you ask me. Now note at the bottom it says 5 micrometers. A micrometer is 1,000 nanometers. And this doesn't seem to be some rare occurrence. They have numerous examples that they've photographed here, of different size and shape, but very similar in their composition and their appearance. What are these? What are these strange, inexplicable objects? And do they have any place in an injection that's going into billions of people? What are these? Why are these found in the injection vials? Were these purposely added? Is this part of a sinister plot to damage people? Now they also did some elemental composition analysis, and that's what we're seeing here. You see a big spike here for carbon. They think those are the undeclared particles we were looking at earlier. They think those might be carbon. Now we also see a spike for gold, but I think we should discard that based on the German. That's not part of the sample material, it says. So that must be part of the testing process. Maybe what they add to run these tests. So the person who sent me all this footage of the allegedly Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine also sent me alleged footage of the Moderna vaccine. Very interesting as well. I'm not sure if this is done by a different microscope, but it looks very different. It also looks like there's more of a pooling of the fluid. And you can see as they change the focus level, different layers of the fluid come into focus. So there are a few different types of particles that we can see here. Some are more concerning than others, in my lay opinion. And as the focus level changes, you can see different parts of the concoction. Most concerning, I would say, are these rectangular-shaped particles, or objects, rather. Now there are some concerning objects in here, if you ask me. I'm no expert, but there are some strange objects. They look like they have jagged edges. Do you see this as they change the focus level here? This rectangular object comes into play. What is that? Is that safe to be injecting that into people? What is that thing? It seems to hold its rigid shape. It seems to be its own object, and it begs a lot of questions as to what we're looking at here. If I had to guess, I would say it looks inorganic. So I just wanted to share these videos that came across my desk with you all. Let me know if anybody can get their hands on any of this serum. I have an expert microscopist on standby ready to audit this serum if we can get our hands on any of it. But until then, we have this footage. I don't know if it's legitimate, but it's very interesting, and it's allegedly the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine first that we looked at, and then allegedly the Moderna vaccine. Let me know what you think. If you have any information about this, email me at timtruth@protonmail.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, now, cap it off. See, United States is a corporation. Title 28 U.S.C. 3002. United States is equivalently a corporation. Washington, D.C. is a sovereign city-state not bound by any laws or treaties of the United States. Playing the game with you, got you thinking it's a government with TV on, or only talking to government personnel, thinking that you are the ones that they talk. You thinking that they talking to you and you acting out on it. And what they call it, trading with the enemy act. They found a way so they can still play with you guys and talk and act like they doing. They fucking with you, but you are the enemy. So that's pretty much it for today, I guess. Oh yeah, one last thing. I found out putting all the Bibles together. You say this one prayer to get one saying together. I don't know if it's a prayer, but if you say this all together, if everybody said it together, God said He'll reveal Himself. The Father's truth is just, and the child presides over all, and everyone from ages to ages. Holy, holy, holy. Amen. Alright, y'all, this is Louis. I'm out. I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the trolls. Tomorrow is the trolls talk. Everything we talked about today, we're going to sprinkle the trolls and get them on here while you're doing what you're doing. You think you're working for the devil, but God gave you an assignment to say, bitch, you said fuck me? What the hell, I got this job.